every year, people prepping their returns by themselves on TurboTax, H&R Block, whatever it might be, the free tax software, they ask themselves the same question. Why do I owe so much money? And the problem usually isn't the number. It's the assumption that people make about the number. And what does that actually mean? What's up, guys? Mike back at it again, CPA, alongside Andrew D'Amico, the two founders of Ledgerly here, giving you the latest and greatest when it comes to tax strategy, compliance, and all things accounting. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for videos just like this one. So let's look at the big picture here. It's tax season. It's getting close to April 15th. You're plugging in all your documents in TurboTax, H&R Block, your free tax USA software, whatever it is. And your tax software is saying you owe. And we get this all the time. Mike, Andrew, we owed last year. Let's have a CPA do it. Well, what are you, just a W-2 employee? Yeah, just a W-2, some 1099, interest and dividends, small stuff. Well, we're not going to wave a magic wand. No. It's all up to the tax tables. It's what's your gross income? Did you have any pre-tax or post-tax deductions? And what was your withholding? If you owed, you were under withheld. No, it doesn't mean the tax software is broken. It means there's a disconnect between how you understand the tax language and the way the actual tax language was written. But don't worry, we're going to get into that today. So this video is for all you individuals, you W-2 earners, investors, side hustlers, and even business owners. Anyone who's filing their 1040 individual income tax return that feels blindsided every year. So what we want to walk through today is when and why the tax software often shows a balance due, what it's actually calculating, what it actually means, and maybe some safeguards we can put and implement for you to take advantage of going forward. So here's a few things that we need to understand here. Number one is that the software that you're using is not giving you strategy. The software is just doing math. The software is doing calculations based on your income tax bracket, 10, 12, 22, 24%, and so on. It's taking the income you enter, applying the tax code mathematically, and comparing it to the tax liability you already paid in, whether it's through your W-2 withholding or estimated tax payments. It does not do the strategy. It does not ask, hey, was your withholding accurate? Did your income change mid-year? Were estimated payments made? Were they filed on time? So the software is not doing strategy. Instead, the software is just doing math. So when you see in the top right-hand corner that, hey, you owe the feds, you owe the state, it's not a withholding mismatch. It's just a mistake. And that mistake is not on the software. Sorry to say this, the mistake is on you for not doing the due diligence during the year to have the extra withholdings, right? Because the goal is to get down to zero. Now, hot take here, people that get refunds, I think that's a waste. People that are getting refunds are giving the government an interest-free loan for 12 months out of the year. Cool. If you owe the government, they are very quick to say, hey, you owe us. We're going to assess interest and penalties on what you owe us, not the other way around. So the software does not equal strategy. The software is just doing math. It's just a calculator. All right, number two, let's go through our little handy dandy whiteboard here. I love this little chart here. So what most common reasons why people are owed, right? So there's a withholding lag. What does that mean? Hey, did you change jobs halfway through the year? Remember, every HR, every payroll, every corporation is going to do different withholdings based on how much money you're making. For example, you got a raise, you got a bonus, you got commissions, you switch jobs, your withholding is a mismatch here. There's not a 12-month straight line. There's a lot of if-then, push-pull scenarios here. So there's a payroll lag there, right? If you change jobs, you're not in the same payroll system for 12 months. Now, the other killer, right? W-2 plus side hustle. I mean, that's the keys to the kingdom. That's where you write your own ticket. You start building your own empire, your own economy, taking advantage of different write-offs, home office, auto, get the accountable plan embedded, start writing off some meals and entertainment and different softwares and different travels and the whole 9 yards. Because regardless, you're making some 1099 side income. Bingo, you just started your own business. However, people don't understand that the W-2 has withholdings. The 1099 income, the side hustle income, the investment income, the K-1 income. There are no withholdings unless there's a special election there. So it's on you to make those estimated tax payments, or it's on you to implement strategic tax planning to offset those liabilities, or it's on you to find those deductions to offset the business income. So when you get your W-2 and your K-1s and 1099s and the side hustle income, it gets stacked together and it pushes you into a higher tax bracket. Higher tax bracket means more tax. Now, again, remember, the software is just doing math, right? So the software is taking your income, looking at what you withheld. The withholding was most likely based on your W-2 up here, and it's not accounting for the extra income that's stacked together, pushing you into the higher tax bracket. So one workaround here, hey, you're doing some side hustle projects, you're investing, you're killing it. Instead of making estimated payments, you can just go to HR at your job and say, hey, can I have an extra $500 a month withheld from my paycheck for taxes? 400 federal, 100 state, right? You do the W-4 election there, and there you go. Now you're covered a little bit more. Now, full disclosure, that's like number 3 or number 4 of what we would advise our clients to do. Let's implement strategy and deductions first before paying the federal government more. Now, the third thing, and this is probably the heavy hitter, the one-time income, the RSUs, the stock sales, the bonuses, basically a quality over quantity item here. Get a one-time cash out of 10, 20, 30 grand from a bonus or RSU or stock sale. Just like the multiple sources of income, there's really no withholding here. Yeah, bonuses, you'll be withheld. RSUs potentially as well. The other thing too is that if this is done incorrectly, you might be doing your return. If you had an RSU and the RSU goes to your stock sale, there's risk that you're picking that up twice on your tax return as income, when really it needs to be backed out of one of them. Now, stock sales, I'd rather show it as a stock sale than ordinary income, because the capital gain rate, if it's a long-term capital gain, is taxed at a lower preferential rate, right? Topic for another time. But these are things that, hey, when you're cashing out, is the option to withhold there? Or do we need to have a higher withholding in our W-2, right? So again, the software is not wrong. The software is just doing math. Software is not doing the strategy. We have to do the strategy with you. It's a done with you solution here at Ledgerly. Now, I love this because this really brings it on home here, right? We said the software does not equal strategy. The software is just doing math. And people, and I said this before too, people are associating refunds with success and balance due with failure. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Again, a refund just means you overpaid during the year. You gave the government an interest-free loan. And if you owe, that means you didn't pay enough. You didn't withhold enough. Doesn't mean success. Doesn't mean failure. I personally owe every year. I want to take advantage of every single strategy under the sun before I give the federal government a piece of my money. No way. That's my money. It's unconstitutional to pay your government. It's constitutional to hang on to what's yours and do it legally, right? That's the way the tax code was written, for the American taxpayer, by the American taxpayer. So why don't we take advantage of it? If we are all American taxpayers, we're all on the same team, we're all on the same field. Let's put our money to work for us, not for our government, okay? So don't feel like you did something wrong if you owe. If you owe, let's nip it in the bud, pay the tax, and let's implement strategies to kick some ass going forward. Now, here's where the software falls short. We said how the software is doing math, right? The software is basically a calculator, but you are the captain of your ship. Now, let's go back to math class here. You're in math class. You're studying for your exam. You have a calculator. You're able to use a calculator on your math class, on the exam. You know how to use a calculator, but do you know the formulas? The formulas are the strategy. The formulas help you pass the test. If you just have a calculator and you don't know the formulas, you're not going to have the right answer to the test. So the software is like garbage in, garbage out. It's only as good as the information that you give it. Kind of like AI nowadays. If you give AI a terrible prompt, it's going to give you a good response. It's going to be happy-go-lucky and say, hey, this is great here. No. The software is garbage in, garbage out. Think of the software as your calculator. If you give it crappy information, it's going to give you a crappy result. So you are the captain of your ship. You are the captain of your legacy, and to keep more money in your pocket and less in the government's. That's where the software falls short. So the software ain't doing strategy. The software is simply calculating your return. So when you see that you owe, it's very important to not panic. Don't panic, because again, your tax return is compliance. And what is compliance? Compliance is in the rearview mirror. Let's look ahead. Let's not look in the rearview mirror. It's already done. We can't do anything about the past. let's look towards the future, right? So don't panic, right? Also, don't make an ass out of yourself by assuming that, oh, the software is wrong, number one, and that, hey, this is actually going to magically fix itself next year. No. And also don't assume, oh, I guess this is just how it is. This is how it is. The government just takes more of my money every year. No, don't do that either. Because by doing this, by making an ass out of you and me and panicking, this is rinse and repeat for you to keep paying taxes, right? Instead, the right way to response. This is what we do. Do this. Ask yourself who, what, where, when, and why, right? Ask yourself these questions. Why do I owe? Which income caused this? Which income stream this year? My W-2 plus my side hustle, capital gains, this, that, the other thing. Not just W-2. I'm good with my W-2. Which one of these pieces of income pushed me over the threshold? Why do I owe? And which one caused this? Was this predictable? Did I know this was going to happen? Did I know this back in January and I had 12 months to plan for this? Did this happen at the end of the year? Did someone pass away and I got some type of kickback through a K-1 or a 1099 that I didn't know I was getting? Was it predictable? And is it predictable that it's going to be the same in years to come as well? What did I do? Meaning you, what did I do to cause this? Where did the income come from? When did I know about this? Again, back in January. And let's round it off. Who, what, where, when, and why. We have what, where, when, why. We also have a couple other guys who joined the party. We got which and was. Nice. Who can I contact? Ledgerly. Who can I contact to make sure this doesn't happen again? You already know. Y'all learned today here, right? You can contact Ledgerly, right? But seriously, do this. Ask these questions. Who, what, where, when, and why. Which and was as well. Ask your questions. Why did this happen? Was this predictable? Did I know about this? Where did I implement strategies? When did this occur? But who can help me? Just by asking yourself those questions is setting you up to the next level here, right? So do that. Do your due diligence. Make sure you're asking yourself these questions. Challenge yourself. Because you know what? Sometimes putting the blame on yourself is easier than pointing fingers at your CPA or your tax software. But no. It all comes back to you. Take the blame, take the responsibility, but let's do something to make sure this does not happen again, right? So by doing this is going to signal you into the right direction to take the right steps going forward. So this all being said, if your software says that you owe and you don't fully understand why, it's not the filing problem. It's not the software. The software is just doing math. It's that informational gap where there's you, there's the tax law, and there's a bridge here that hasn't been built to understand. You're the captain of your ship. Let's get over that bridge together. Let's slow down. Let's get clarity. And let's use this result as data. Ask yourself these questions. Use it as data, not a verdict. And going forward, when you get to that question of who can I contact to help out with this, you already got the answer with us, guys. Listen, we'll see you on the next video. I hope this provided some clarity when it comes to filing your 1040 and why you owe, what your tax software is saying about you and your income situation. So take care, guys. We'll see you on the next video.